What's up, MMA fan? Manny Q, and this is MMA360. Sorry about the delay, guys. It's been a rough last 2 days. I'm here at Cedars-Sinai, Los Angeles, celebrating the birth of my first son, Brody Alexander. So I apologize for not uploading the video a little early, but here's my picks for UFC125, Gray Maynard versus Frankie Edgar. And I say it like that because, to me, Gray Maynard's going to win. So here we go, guys. First fight, we got Volkman versus McKee. Jacob Volkman versus Antonio McKee. Just based off of the stats and whatnot, I'm going to go with Jacob Volkman. I've seen him fight a couple times, real good with his hands, real animated fighter, so we're definitely going to go with him on that one. Next fight coming up is Daniel Roberts versus Greg Soto. This is in the 170-pound division, gentlemen. Greg Soto looks a little more solid. I haven't really seen either one of them fight. Based on the record, Daniel Roberts obviously has a couple more wins, a couple more fights under his belt, but I'm going to give the edge to Greg Soto. Moving along, guys, we've got a good, one of the first few fights in the 145 division, and that's Mike Brown against Diego Nunes. If you guys have watched the WEC before, you know Mike Brown brings it. He's a former WEC 145-pound belt title belt holder. So I'm going to give Mike Brown that edge. He's got a lot more experience, great animated fighter, great with his hands. His wrestling is awesome. The edge for me, Mike Brown, guys. Second, moving on to the next one, Phil, the New York Badass Baroni versus Brad Tavares. We know Brad Tavares from The Ultimate Fighter. Phil Baroni lost a couple fights to an Ultimate Fighter, Amir Sadala. We know Phil Baroni brings it. He brings the heat. The only problem is he usually doesn't last 3 rounds. The first round, he is all out, balls to the wall. Brad Tavares was great in The Ultimate Fighter. He's got good hands, looks tough. I just hope he can hang with Phil Baroni. Now, the edge, personal, as a fan pick, I'm going to go with Brad Tavares. But you know what? I don't count Phil Baroni out because he still loves to bang, and I always love a good scrap in the UFC. So look out for that to be a good fight of the night. Next up, guys, we got Crispy versus Poirier, and this is again in the 145 division. We're starting to see the UFC incorporate those lighter divisions that they had in the WEC, which is great. So these guys are coming from the WEC roster, and again, that's Josh Grispi, with against Dustin Poirier. Again, experience always counts in my part. So I'm going to go with the fluke, Josh Grispi on this one. So edge, Josh Grispi. Next coming up, guys, is a real good fight, and this one against Marcus, the Irish Hand Grenade Davis versus Jeremy Stephens. You know what? Again, great fight, potential fight of the night with Marcus Davis. He's an older guy, but definitely can get some guys, can knock out a couple guys. So on my edge, Marcus Davis on this one. I'm going to go as far as to say maybe even knockout. So we'll see. Hopefully he gets knockout of the night. Alright, guys, moving on to the next one, and this one's exciting. Clay the Carpenter Guida against Takanori Gomi. Now, my personal opinion, again, I mean, this is a stacked card. Awesome end-of-year card. Awesome New Year card. Clay Guida always brings it every single time. I love the guy. I don't think he's ever going to hold the belt in the lightweight division, but he's definitely a guy we're going to see forever in the UFC because he always fights his heart out. Takanori Gomi, great fighter. I personally don't think any of the Asian fighters out there got what it takes to keep up with the Brazilian fighters or the wrestlers, the American wrestlers, or the Muay Thai guys. I think wrestling needs to be incorporated in a lot of these Asian fighters. They're lacking that. It's not a big sport out in Asia, and I think that's hurting them when they're coming over and fighting in the U.S. But Gomi is great. He's held his own in the lightweight division back in Pride, back in Japan, all the other organizations. So my edge, Clay Guida on this one, guys. Next, we've got one of my hometown heroes, Nate Diaz from NorCal. That's one of my favorite guys out there, against Dong Nguyen Kim. Now we know he's, I believe he's Korean. Dana's doing smart. He's promoting him. He's trying to move into the Korean territory, try to have a show out there. Smart marketing. Again, Korean. I've never seen Dong Nguyen Kim fight. I don't believe he's got the right tools for it. Nate Diaz, great jiu-jitsu guy, trains under Cesar Gracie. Cardio is impeccable, obviously because he's a hometown hero for me. An edge, Nate Diaz, by submission, guys. Moving along, we've got Brandon the Truth Vera against Thiago Silva. This is going to be a great fight, simply because you've got two guys coming back from a loss. Brandon Vera, I believe, coming back from 2 losses. Most people are talking this whole, is this Brandon Vera's last fight? Is it not? Listen, the Truth has got a lot of game in him. Thiago Silva has got a lot of game in him. Now here's the thing, Brandon Vera comes to fight. He brings it every single time. And Thiago comes to finish it. It's going to be an exciting fight. I think this is a great matchup. Joe Silva did a great job with this one. If they both come to fight, whoever loses, I think is definitely going to be back for another fight. So definitely look forward to seeing who they bring in next and who wins. But my personal edge, I'm taking the Truth over Thiago Silva. I love the Brazilian, but I'm going with the Filipino on this one. Alright guys, there's another one. The co-main event, Chris the Crippler Lieben against Brian the All-American Stan. Now I'm all for American patriotism. Stan's an ex-Marine. Support the guy, but I'm going with Chris Lieben on this one. The way he was able to fight within 1 week, fight 2 fights within 1 week of each other, that shows sportsmanship, that shows dedication, that shows everything, strength, believing in himself. I mean, that's something that you cannot teach fighters. That he has it. He has that it factor for as a fighter. So my edge, Chris Lieben. Alright guys, main event on this one, Frankie the Answer Edgar against Gray the Bully Maynard. The answer to what, guys? I'm sorry, I'm not a Frankie Edgar fight. The bully's he's gonna bully the Answer around. Real quick, just to fill in, Frankie Edgar, I don't think his last 2 fights against BJ Penn, I don't think he fought the BJ Penn at 100%. Again, if you watched my last video, I think BJ Penn wanted out of the lightweight division. I think he slipped up on purpose. There's no way you can leave the 155 division, lose 2 fights, and then dominate Matt Hughes the way he did. You can't beat, I don't think you can beat that kind of caliber of fighter and a heavier guy in less than a minute when you've lost 2 fights. Something's fishy. Personal opinion, I think BJ left it. Obviously, Gray Maynard has a win over Frankie. I think Frankie thinks he has the answer, but man, he's going to be left scratching his head. So my pick for this fight, guys, is Gray Maynard. And I got to say, I'm going to have to go with knockout of the night for this one. This fight will not go 5 rounds. Not going to happen. Absolutely not. There it is, guys. Those are my picks. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. Again, I apologize for not having the video up a little early. Celebrating, bringing the birth of my son into the new year. He was born 2 days ago, guys. So watch out, Brody Alexander, future UFC contender on this one, guys. This is Manny Quintana. You're watching MMA360. Peace out, guys.